Shalom. GMS Solid Sit Downs coming back with a video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Looking for all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder apostles, GMS, for teaching us this truth. Peace and salutations to the elect out there that's spreading this word, this sincerity and the truth, man. You know, today's video is gonna be about what do the Israelites look like, you know? Because yesterday I was watching this video of this dummy, Ahlazar. You know, Ahlazar from the sicarii thugs. And he was basically going in on GMS like he always does. You know, he doesn't have a life. You know, about this guy, he's called Street Disciple. He gives double honors to the elder apostles, but he doesn't have GMS in his name. Well, anyway, he says he's affiliated with GMS. Okay, but he looks like an Edomite. And then he be saying, yeah, GMS takes Edomites in their camps. GMS takes Edomites in their camps. This and that. They accept Edomites. Because the Edomite-looking Jake, he was saying fucking niggas and stuff. You know, and that's gonna look offensive if you don't see that guy is actually a Jake, man. You know, so this guy, you know, he got emotional. Ahlazar got emotional. So with that, this video, man,
I made a video about this guy, man, the Street Disciple, because I stumbled on him for like, I think it was like 2 years ago. I saw a video of this guy. I was like, what? You know, first you think, hey, this guy is a cracker, but then you see him teaching and stuff,
yeah, man,
giving double honors to the elders apostles. I was like, hey, it was an astonishment. I was like, hey, man, exactly, this guy is a Jake immediately, you know, because what Edomite will preach? The downfall of himself, basically.
Yeah.
You know, think about it, man.
Exactly.
So hey, that's 100% Jake, man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
that's how you see sicarii is not spiritual, man.
Exactly.
Only look at the carnal with his carnal eyes, man.
Exactly. You know? So read the scripture, man. You bring it right back in it.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance.
Exactly. Yeah. The Heavenly Father said to Samuel, when Samuel went to look for the new king, you know, he went to Jesse's house and he saw all his sons, and then he looked upon the firstborn son and he was like, hey, this is probably him. And then the Most High said, look not at his countenance, man. Don't look upon his outward appearance, man. Read on.
So, but the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him, for the Lord seeth not as man seeth.
Exactly, the Lord seeth not as man seeth. So you might look at the guy like he's an Edomite, but the Most High is not looking at him like that, man. The Most High is looking at the spirit, man. The Most High is looking at his mind, you know, who he was in his former lives, man. You know, you had the house of David, who Joab was in the house of David, man. But the scriptures say that Joab, his family and his generations after that would be cursed with leprosy, man. So those men are back in the reincarnation now, you know. So there are gonna be Israelites that are gonna look like Edomites, and that's straight up history, man. You know. So read that last part again. So
for the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart.
Exactly, the Lord looketh on the heart, man. You know, and then you got the scripture that says, the Spirit itself beareth witness that we are the children of the Most High, man. You know, so if you see that he is in the Spirit, if you see that he is in the right mind, then you have to realize, like, hey, this man most likely is an Israelite, man. You know, but the thing is, you get offended by what he says, by what he preaches, and that's what the Pharisees got offended by too, man. When Yahushua was teaching, the Pharisees got offended by what Yahushua said, man. You know, they was emotional ass niggas, man, just like you are, an emotional ass nigga, man.
Yeah, man. If you offended for a so-called white guy saying nigga, well, why don't you look upon when he said yeah, these crackers, they're gonna go into slavery. This, but that part you don't hear. You only hear him saying, yeah, fuck these niggas, this and that, because he is one himself, man.
Exactly.
You know,
this nigga better keep that head thing on his, you know,
the headband
on his head, because I believe he's covering a big ass forehead, man. He's covering his big ass forehead, man. So, you know, if you wanna look carnal on things, you know, al die camera een beetje lager, alleen mijn ekkie erop zo, toch? Pak Leviticus 26 en 33, you know. So he's I think he's covering his big ass forehead, man. So, but that's a carnal thinking, man. You know, but that's what you do too, man. That's what you are doing. You're looking at the brother that's teaching the word, the sincerity and truth, but you get offended by the words he says, man. You know, the scriptures say, for with stammering lips they shall speak unto the people, man. You know, stammering lips meaning that they are going to be offensive, man. You know, Leviticus 26 and 33.
This is Leviticus chapter 26 verse 33. And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you.
Exactly. So us being scattered amongst the heathen, that would mean that we would lay down with heathens, man. That would mean that we would look like heathens, man. Look at what's his name? Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Look at Blake Griffin.
That's a good example.
His father is a dark-skinned Haitian, man. But only because he and his son laid down with a so-called white woman, his grandson looks like an Edomite, man, with blonde hair.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the curses, man. That's the curses. And if you can't see that, if you think every Israelite is gonna look like Wesley Snipes, you gotta think again, man. You know? Because you yourself don't even look like a Wesley Snipe type of Israelite, man. If your father had a fucking Edomite, pale ass looking Edomite, you would be looking the same, man. So I don't know what you're talking about. You know, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, 16.
Let me finish. And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste.
Exactly.
What's the next one?
2 Corinthians 4 and 16. You know, because the Spirit of the Most High decides in what type of house He dwells, man. You know, and we are spiritual houses, man. You know, and if you go into the Latin, the word house is bodig, which means body, man. So the Most High chooses in which body He dwells, man. The Most High chooses in which spirit, you know, He wants to pour out His Spirit upon, man. The Most High chooses that. And if you see that the man is walking in the Spirit, if you see that the man, if he was truly Edomite, he would never teach these things, man.
Nah, man, never.
He would never teach these things.
Never.
And then he says, like, yeah, the apostles are teaching that the Irish and the Scottish are Israelites. Yeah, because it is true, man. You know, the word Scot means black. You know, so basically the word the name Scotland means black land, man. Why? Because our people was in that land, man. And like the most I said in Leviticus, I would scatter them among the heathen, man. You know, so eventually the heathen came in, and we were in the four corners of the earth laying down with Edomites, man. And we still do it, man, up to this day. We still do it.
That's why, hey, what the apostles, the other apostles be saying, that a lot of these Scots and a lot of these, you know, Irish, also a lot of these Italians, you know, from South Italy, you know, from Sicily and stuff, they are jakes, man. A lot of them are jakes. Exactly. If you cannot see it, then hey, you are not spiritual, man.
Exactly, yeah, man. A lot of them are jakes, you know, just like how a lot of so-called Negroes lookalikes are not Negroes, man.
Yeah, man.
They are Edomites. Yesterday I was talking with this girl, and she is her mother is a Jake, but her father is an Edomite, and now she has a Jake boyfriend. So, but wait, if that, no, let me put it like this. that if there is a Jake, a man, and his father is an Edomite and his mother is a dark skin Jake, you know, he would be, you know, something like me. But then he goes with a dark-skinned Jake again, a woman. The child is Edomite, man, but he's dark-skinned, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, if you light-skinned and you lay down with a dark-skinned woman, your son is gonna be dark-skinned, man. But he's gonna be Edomite. So that's the confusion of faces, man. You know, but you walking carnally, you're looking at the outward appearance. The Most High said, I'm not looking at the outward appearance, man, because that's nothing. The Most High looks at the spirit, man. And if you walk in the spirit, you know, you ought to do the same thing, man. You know?
2 Corinthians 4 and 18. 16. Yeah, God. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed.
Exactly. And that's concerning afflictions. You know, that's concerning this body. You know, we're getting weak. But also, you know, we are not in the same stature. We are not in the same, we don't have the same looks as we had back in the land, man. You know, like back in Israel, man. So you can, it's basically double fold, man. You know, some brothers might have a lighter skin. Some brothers might have leprosy. Hey, that can't be, man. But the inward man is renewed day by day. You know, because you grow in the spirit, man. You learn to separate carnal things from spiritual things, man. But that's what you're not doing, man. So you're not being renewed day by day, because you already said, man, like you should not worship Yahushua. What happens when you break off from the vine, man? When a branch breaks off from a vine, he's gonna rot away, man. He's not gonna bear fruit no more. And that's what's happening with you, Ahlazar. Damn demon.
The only thing he do is make his scoff videos, man. There's no edification whatsoever.
And then yesterday I was looking at this emotionalite Malakshar, who said, I only want one wife in the kingdom. This emotionalite, he was he's teaching on his own, right? Also not bearing fruit because he's a broken off branch, you know. And he only liking Avenger for Yahushua videos, man. You know, only, but first you was with GMS, but then when you got kicked out, all of a sudden you with Avengers for Caesar Boucher.
You take sides with the enemy, you know.
You take sides with the enemy, and now all of a sudden your mind state is like that. Because you got kicked out, your mind state is like that. The scriptures say, meddle not with them that are given to change. First you think like that, and then you think like that. The same with sicarii. The same with this Yakko Wekko. They was all affiliated with GMS. But all of a sudden this spirit pops in your mind, this demon takes over, and you gone, man. You gone. You're out of there, man. Is there more to it? No, that was it. Romans 8 and 16. You know? Because these dudes, man, you know, the thing is, the reason why the elders are getting on you is because they are full of age, man. They are full of age in the spirit, I'm talking about. You know, 30 plus years. Meaning, they can discern good from evil, man. And that's why you come to the forefront, because your dude's evil, man. Your guy's wicked, you know. And we are there to correct y'all, man. Sharply rebuke with the scriptures, because that's what the scriptures is for, man. You know.
And when we teach, we always say, you know, the Hebrew Israelites, the Negros, Latinos, Indianos, a lot of them West African, you know. But like the scriptures say, we are scattered among the four corners of the earth, man. So we are everywhere. There are Israelites in China, Japan, Russia, Australia, Europe, America, whatever. You know, that's what you gotta understand, man. If you read the scriptures, read it with understanding. You know, don't think that these Hebrew Israelites are only in America, or you know, only in Europe. That's not the case, man. There are Hebrew Israelites in Vietnam, man. Whatever place, man. We are everywhere, you know.
Because during the Vietnam Wars, You got Jakes. You had Jakes going over to Vietnam, man. And then these Vietnamese, they would say like, no, Negroes, it's not your war. It's not your war. And they would let them free, man. But still, Jake went to, hey, pump these Vietnamese bitches full, and our seed is over there, man. You know, going back into history, what we did during the Maccabean Wars, you know, during the time of Judas Maccabees and stuff, we were just we was chasing this Roman general, but they fled away. They went across the river, and then we just looked around and we saw Arabians, and then we chased the Arabians and we slaughtered the Arabians and took their women, man. So you're gonna have, you know, Israelites among them too, man. You know, and that's how it is, man. That's if you can't see that, basically this truth is not for you, man. But Spirit already shows you that.
You are spiritually discerned.
Spiritually discerned.
Hey, that's crazy. Only that word is crazy. So I got a scripture. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So the elect comes from the four winds, man. You know, the elect is not only gonna come from America. The elect is not only gonna, you know, come from there, man. From America, or from South America, from Europe. Man, even China, man, Japan, Australia, whatever, man. You know, they could come from everywhere, man. And they don't have to look like Wesley Snipes, my nigga. Man. So this is Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Heavenly Father. Exactly. So it's a spiritual thing, man. It's a spiritual thing. If you look at the brother, you know, we even had a guy that was a tall ass dude, man. We was teaching him. All of a sudden, and we asked him like, hey, where your father from, man? He says, my father is from Holland. He's just a Dutch guy. But we never had that feeling like, hey, he's a Dutch guy, man. We looked at him like, hey, this man is a Jake, man. This man is a Jake, you know? So, you know, you would have stopped your teaching and you would say, hey, you so white man, fuck you. So we continued, man. And he basically, I don't know if you remember him, but he said basically things that were in the scriptures, man, without knowing it. Without knowing that it was in the scriptures, he would say things, man. And we went, hey, man, this man is great. This man is spiritual, man. We had an Egyptian, an Arab-looking ass dude. He coming to the camp every now and then, man, because hey. And everything we say, no matter what we say, man, this man is like, yeah, man, it's gonna happen soon, man. Yeah, man. You know? So some brothers, you know, are gonna receive it, and they're not gonna look like you know, dark-skinned Negroes, man. Just like how you don't look like a dark-skinned Negro, you know? With your ponytail. With your pony ass tail, man. You look like a damn Turk, you look like a damn Turk, man. Or a Greek. Yeah, you look like a Greek, man. Hey, man, I've been to Greece, man. You look like a straight up Greek, man. You look like an abomination, a Greek, man. Hey, if this guy... what you talking about? The man looking like an Edomite. You looking like an Edomite, man. You looking like a Greek, man. Hey, you know? If this man goes in a fight, man, if he go in a war, man, hey, grab his ponytail, fuck his ass up in the knee in the face, man. Because, hey, those are bitches, man. Hey, guys with long ass hair always lose in a fight, man. You know? Yeah, and then he be talking that he's a Nazarite. Well, nigga, if you were a Nazarite, you're supposed to cut your hair every Pasach, man. So it can never be long as that, you know? Because you're supposed to cut it, man. But you don't know the Nazarite house, man. He's just stupid ass nigga, man. That wants to have a ponytail, covering his big ass forehead with the head bandana, man. Bullshit. So I read it again. This Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Heavenly Father. Exactly. So it's not carnal no more, man. It's not being carnally seen with the eye no more. You know, back in the days you could
look at the brother and you would see like, okay, he's Judah, he's Benjamin, he's Levi, you know. But if but that's because back in the days the tribes would not really mingle, man. You know, Judites would go with Judites, Benjamites with Benjamites to leave the inheritance in the family, man. You know, but now Judites go with Benjamites, Judites go with Levites, Issachar goes with Benjamin,
Simeon with Judah, you know.
Simeon with Judah, you know, Zebulon with Issachar. You know, you would think that he's straight up Judah, but his father is an Issacharite and his mother is a Judite. So how you gonna see it then? You know, he's Issachar, man, looking like a Judite. You got brothers. Even the elder Tazadakba, man, he's a Gadite. Yeah, man. He looks like a Judite.
You would never say that, man.
No, man.
Like he was Judah, man.
I told my wife today, I said, see that man? What you think his nationality is? She was like, Negro. No, man, he's a Gadite, man. He's a Native American. You know? So, it's not, it all goes by the spirit now. We have to look spiritual. And we can't be spiritually discerned, like the brother said.
Also, Elder Apostle Rakam, man.
Yeah.
Also,
he's a Reubenite, right?
Yeah, man.
So give me 2nd Ezra 1:24.
Ezra chapter 1 verse 24. What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob? Thou Judah wouldest not obey me.
Exactly. And this is what happened, man. Judah was not obeying Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai. When Yahushai came on the scene, they didn't want to listen. Plus, before Yahushai was on the scene, you know, they were selling sacrifices in front of the temple and stuff. They was telling people, you know, they was condemning people by the law, but they was not keeping the law themselves, you know, the Pharisees, you know. So read it again.
So what shall I do unto thee, O Jacob? Thou Judah wouldest not obey me. I will turn me to the other nations.
Exactly, I will turn me to the other nations. So is this talking about the Gentiles, man? Is this talking about the heathens, man? No, it's talking about I will turn to the Israelites that are among the other nations, man. I will turn to them. Read on.
And unto those will I give my name.
Unto those will I give my name. So you got guys that come with this breakdown that says, this means that the Most High, that the heathens would have our customs now, like the Jewish and the Christianity. That's not what it's talking about, man. It's talking about the Most High is gonna turn to the Israelite foreigners,
the Gentiles.
Yeah, the dispersed amongst the Gentiles, man. That's what it's talking about. The Most High is gonna turn back to them and give them their name, His name again, man. Why? Because they was abominable, man. You know, they were so abominable. They was doing all these crazy shit, man, following all these heathen customs because they grew up with it, man. They grew up with those customs. Only in Israel you would not, you know, get affected by those wicked ass customs, man. You know, of the heathens, because you would not be amongst heathens, man. But as soon as you are amongst heathens, you're gonna follow their ways, man. You know, you're gonna look at them, you're gonna want to be like them, just like niggas in America nowadays. You know, just like niggas in baby Babylon, Holland. You know, they're gonna want to be like cats like that, man. And you can see it, man. If you meet a Negro that grew up in a small town where you only have Edomites, you look at the guy like, what's wrong with you,
man? Something strange about you.
You acting strange. You acting like a damn cracker, man. I can see you, Jake,
talking all
with
nice,
fancy words and stuff.
Words, you know, hey.
Because Jake adapts quickly, you know. When the Edomite starts talking with all these fancy words, Jake tries to, you know, come slick too. But you can see it, man. But in the meantime, this man is gonna be trained in talking like an Edomite, man. You can see these coons on TV too, you know, with the tie and suit. Or what's this guy's name? Umberto Tan.
Umberto Tan.
Yeah, that's the reporter in Holland here. You know, Jake reporter, bald as fuck.
Straight up Edomite.
Straight up coon, acting like an Edomite, man.
Straight up
you know, and the Edomites love him, man. The Edomites favor him, man.
Yeah.
So Jake adapts really quick, man. But the Most High has given the name to the Israelite foreigners, man. You know, it's not talking about the customs, but that our customs that the heathen took, because they are not keeping our customs, man. They are keeping their own customs. These Jewish, you know, Jewish Judea believers. They sucking babies' rods after the circumcision, man. Yeah, man. They basically swallowing up blood, man, of a baby's rod.
Do you want to follow those heathens, man?
That's
you want to follow those customs, man?
Those are not our customs,
those
man.
are not Israelite customs, man.
You know, and following the Talmud.
Okay.
That's not of us.
Okay. They got their own book.
Yeah, so they're not following our things, man. Okay. You know, give me Isaiah 63. Let's start at verse 7. You know, the Most High has given his name to the Israelite foreigners, man. And the Israelite foreigners, even in that time, they wouldn't look like Wesley Snipes type of Israelites no more, man. You know, even you had Israelites that had Edomite mothers. You know, you had Israelites that you know. Look at Cornelius, man. Cornelius was in the Roman army, man. And you know what you do when you in the army, man? You go slaughter a lot of people and you're gonna take the women, man. So Cornelius probably had a nice Edomite wife or something, man. A nice Edomite concubine. Could have been, man. But that would mean that his children was gonna look, you know, light skinned. Maybe even white, so-called white. You know, so give me that scripture, Isaiah 63 and 7.
Isaiah chapter 63 verse 7. I will mention the loving kindness of the Lord and the praises of the Lord, according to all that the Lord hath bestowed on us, and the great goodness towards the house of Israel.
Towards the house of Israel, the great goodness towards the house of Israel. Okay, read on.
Which he had bestowed on Israel.
On Israel, read on.
Them according to his mercies, and according to the multitude of his loving kindness.
Towards Israel. Loving kindness towards Israel. Read on.
For he said, surely they are my people, children that will not lie, so he was their Savior.
Exactly, so the Most High was taking care of us, man. The Most High was dealing with Israel, man. And is still dealing with only Israel, man. So you might look at a guy that looks like an Edomite, but he's still Israel, man. If he's teaching the sound doctrine, if he's teaching the doctrine of Yahweh Shemel Shai, given through great millstone, GMS, the apostles, then he's an Israelite, man. Yeah. Read on to verse 19.
For he said, surely they are my people, children that will not lie, so he was their Savior. In their affliction he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved him. In his love and in his pity he redeemed them, and he bared them, and carried them all the days of old. But they rebelled and vexed his Holy Spirit.
Exactly, like you stupid ass niggas are rebelling up till this day, man. Rebelling to turn back to Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. Keep dealing with these heathen customs, man. A brother's talking to you, a brother's telling you about you a Hebrew Israelite, but still you broadcasting messages about the Christianity needs to rise. Hey, fuck Christianity, man. If the elect was Christians, then the elect would already be sealed, man. Revelation chapter 7 speaks about 144,000, man. So you mean to say that there are not 144,000 Christians, man? Of course there are 144,000 Christians, man. You know? So that would mean the elect is already saved, man, sealed. So that would mean that the end has to come already, you know, or has. Hey, man, Christians were there a long time, man. So-called Christians, but it's not talking about them, man. It's talking about the servants of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man, who are Israelites. You know, read on.
So, but they rebelled and vexed his Holy Spirit. Therefore he was returned to be their enemy, and he fought against them. Then he remembered the days of old, Moses and his people, saying, Where is he that brought them up out of the sea with the shepherd of his flock? Where is he that put his Holy Spirit within him, that led them by the right hand of Moses, with his glorious arm, dividing the water before them, to make himself an everlasting name, that led them through the deep as a horse in the wilderness, that they should not stumble.
Exactly. The Most High made himself an everlasting name by the deliverance of Israel, man. You know, by pouring out his spirit upon the Israelites, who are, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shai, they received even fame, man. You know, through Yahweh Hashem Shai, because the Heavenly Father delivered them out of Egypt. All these heathen nations was talking about it, man. You know, the Israelites who got delivered by their power, the God of Israel, you know, who split the sea, you know, who crumbled all these other nations before them. You know, it was known amongst the heathens, man. You know, the
God of Israel, that's what they used to say. The God of Israel, because that's the only God. You know, these other so-called gods that they worship, they are nothing, man. They are just deities, man. You know.
Okay.
So, verse 14: As a beast goeth down into the valley, the Spirit of the Lord causeth him to rest. So didst thou lead thy people to make thyself a glorious name. Verse 15: Look down from heaven, and behold, from the habitation of thy holiness and of thy glory, where is thy zeal and thy strength? The sounding of thy bowels and of thy mercies towards me are they restrained. The doubtness thou art, our father, though Abraham be ignorant of us, and Israel acknowledge us not. Thou, O Lord, art our Father, our Redeemer. Thy name is from everlasting.
Okay.
O Lord, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways, and hardened our heart from thy fear? Return for thy servant's sake the tribes of thine inheritance.
God, return for thy servant's sake the tribe of thine inheritance, man. You know, the tribe of thine inheritance, man. That's Israel, man. We are the people of his inheritance, not these heathens, man. So it's not for these heathens. This truth is not for these heathens, man. Read on.
And a heathen would not get this truth, man.
Exactly. You will not get this truth.
That will, in no case, a heathen would teach this truth, man. Come on, man.
He might see that we are the real Israelites, and he might say that.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna know the breakdowns. He's not gonna be able to explain things. If Israelites are already stumbling over the new moon Sabbath, if Israelites are already stumbling over Yahweh Shai, how you think that heathens are gonna understand it, man? Come on, man.
And teach it, man.
And teach it in the highways and byways diligently every Saturday.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Crazy.